Good morning, Karen from Quantum Heart Awakening. Let's do a twin flame reading. Let's get into it. All right. As always, masculine's on the left, feminine's on the right, union energies down the center. Spirit, what do we need to know about masculine energies? Okay. So yesterday, masculines were working with discernment. We have listening in reverse and context. Okay, and and expectation. And for feminines, anything else for feminines? Anything else for feminines? We have fortitude and motion. Yeah. Feminines have been receiving the patience, right? Been working with patience. And for union energies, please. Rediscovery in reverse. All right, this is going to be a lot. Let's see how we could do this. Excuse me. I'm going to do this. All right, let's see. Rediscovery, shift, all reversals, core, and potential. All right, in the unconscious, we have influence in the reverse. Just put that aside. All right, so for union energies, let's start in the subconscious. Let's start with what's being pushed into the shadows right now. So there may, how do I say this? Hold on. Feminine and masculines may be having a hard time accepting that there's some sort of external influences in the system right now. There's something, let's just talk quickly about shadows. A shadow is anything that we are ashamed of. A shadow is anything, and it doesn't always mean it's a bad thing. You can have positive things that you could have a gift. You could be the most incredible artist and you're intimidated by that talent and you don't want the attention or whatever. So you push that gift into the shadow. It's really anything we want to hide from the external world. So we push it down into the subconscious or unconscious, and oftentimes or not, those shadows are this kind of, they just show me the image in The Wizard of Oz when, the wizard is operating behind the curtain. It's like, we don't realize it, but a lot of these unconscious patterns are running our life, are running our, we're running off the operating system of this kind of unconscious thing. So the faster, I don't want to say faster, that's not the right word. The more we can bring these shadows up into the light and illuminate them and hold them with loving kindness and presence and curiosity, the more we can integrate them into our conscious existence so that we're not sort of operating from this unknown thing. We're conscious of how we're operating. We're conscious that because of this shadow, we might be triggered in this situation or activated from that situation, and we can more readily bring compassion to those parts when we have an awareness or an understanding of what are those patterns of behavior that we have. Maybe you receive them from your family of origin, from growing up, whatever the scenario may be. The more we can bring those shadows into the light, the more we have a chance to integrate them, right? If we're talking about, parts work, we have a chance to invite those shadows to the dinner table and to welcome them, to offer them a seat, to Ask them what their fears and desires and boundaries are. And once we can get to know those shadowy parts of self, we can actually meet their needs and more easily and readily parent those parts of self. So going back to our message, in the unconscious for the union energy, we have this influence. So okay. Sorry. A few messages coming in here. I'm going to invite you to really feel into, is there a person, place, or thing that you are operating under? Are you worried about, what your family is going to think, what your partner is going to think, what your boss or your coworkers are going to think? So much of this path is rooted in working on our worthiness, right? Our self-esteem, our self-confidence. And we live in a very dissonant society where we're always getting inundated with all the ways we're not enough, right? You don't look a certain way, so buy this product. You don't have a certain amount of money in the bank, so go back to school and get this degree or get this job or whatever it is. We're just inundated with all of these ways where we're not enough. So to reclaim that sovereignty is to step into radical self-love and accountability. So I'm going to ask you again, invite you, and this would be a good journal topic to really, if you can't identify what kind of system you're operating under or who, what, or, because let's be honest, this stuff has been in the unconscious or subconscious for a very long time. It's not just like going to the garden and looking at a weed and pulling it out. Sometimes it takes some practice to train the eye, train the heart, train the sensory system to really pick up on these things. So if nothing comes to mind now, just put a little pin in it, put a pin in it. And as you go through your day, just witness self, witness how you respond, witness if you have any contraction or fear in your body, because your body is the number one communicator. So your body will tell you that something is wrong or something is making you feel a certain way before it enters your waking consciousness. Okay. All right. Where do we begin? That was an interesting kind of... So yeah, when I start with the unconscious, it's kind of like this umbrella to which the rest of the reading is under. So I just wanted to name that. Now let's drop in. Let's start with the masculines on the left here. Okay. Beautiful divine masculines have been working on discernment. They have been working on their connection to their intuition, right? Which is linked with their union with their inner feminine, right? Can they create safe, sacred space to validate and value what their internal feminine is bringing up to the surface? So we have this listening card in reverse. We have context and expectation. So masculines, this feels very much like right now the work that's right in front of you is fine-tuning your listening skills. And listening is just one of the senses, right? Hearing. Really what this is hold on, I just lost it. Hold on. Oh, okay. Really what this is training your perceptual system. So it's not just what you're hearing, but it's what you're feeling, what you're sensing, what you're intuiting. Because for masculines, this intuition may be a new thing. Not new, but, we all operate from our animal bodies at some degree, right? That instinctual, reactive kind of instinctual knowing or response. So it's not fully brand new, right? Masculines, you've experienced intuition before, maybe in these more lighter, subtle ways, but now you're being called to really train your perceptual system to understand that context is everything. I'm going to say it again. Context is everything. The way the feminine operates is that every time they go around the spiral, they bring everything with them. Feminine energy is an interconnected oneness energy, right? There's nothing left behind. Feminine energy utilizes everything because everything moves through their divine portal. Everything from spirit to matter. They are the transpersonal bridge. So you have to understand that context is everything, masculines. You're at a crossroads now, or a fork in the road, where you have to choose whether you're going to continue to bang your head against the wall and only see things as black and white, or look at this stunning rainbow, beautifully colored image with a dragonfly, which to me is always a symbol of spiritual transformation. Yeah, context is everything, masculines, and you're being called to take accountability for where you have expectations for it to be black and white, because that is going to limit you. That is going to limit how far you'll be able to go within self and out in the world. So you're being called to fine-tune your perceptual system to hold the idea that you can hold multiple perspectives, multiple interpretations, that many things can be true at the same time. And maybe the safety that you built, hold on, I'm losing it. Was it yesterday that the divine masculines, there was a little bit of a rude awakening around some things, around maybe accountability of where, basically yesterday we got the message that masculines were being confronted with their side of the street. They were all of a sudden seeing how they were understanding the context of different situations with the feminine, and all of a sudden they were fine. It's like someone turned the light on and they were able to see, oh wow, this was my role in this. This is the role I played in this difficult situation. So today it's a continuation of that message, that masculines are fine-tuning their awareness, their perceptual system, to understand that context is a key piece. It matters what the other person felt. It matters what happened before they had that altercation or that confrontation. Every facet of the environment, of who was there, of who wasn't there, of what was said, of what wasn't said, every bit of it matters. So masculine, you're being called to put down the expectation that things are merely black or white. I know masculine energy likes like little cute compartmentalized, boxes of awareness, right? A little present tied up in a nice little bow. But that is not how the universe works. That is not how the feminines work. Feminines are rooted in oneness, right? They are the divine portal that usher in new souls on the planet. Basically, everyone passes through the divine feminine. Because of that, they have access, because of their role as this transpersonal bridge. They are this transpersonal vessel, right? They are the go-between in the liminal space between this and that, right? Yeah, masculine. So you're opening up to your inner feminine gifts and qualities of this interconnected nature. And it might feel uncomfortable at first. You might feel inundated and overwhelmed by the amount of awareness that's flowing in, because it is pretty intense when you get the message that everything matters. This reminds me also, it's echoing the spiritual path. There's that great quote that's like, we can look at life like nothing is magic, or we can look at life through the lens that everything is magic, that everything was intentional. One of Carolyn Mace's, my favorite quotes of her, she says, we don't even sneeze without an angel telling us to do so. And that phrase, take it how it lands, but that phrase is just to honor the total interconnected nature of us and the spirit realm. that nothing is, if if your plane was delayed, instead of getting bent out of shape about it, can you honor that? Ooh, I was not supposed to be on that plane in the air at that time, and say thank you. Thank you to the universe. If you're stuck in traffic and you're late for work, maybe you just bypassed a massive accident. We have no way of knowing. However, if you can form a symbiotic, intentional, conscious, loving relationship with the unseen world, then the unseen world starts to recognize you, right? When you start to recognize magic, magic starts to recognize you. So masculines, you're in this really beautiful place. And if it's uncomfortable, say thank you. Thank you for this discomfort. Thank you for this new awareness that's arriving in my system. Masculines, do not put pressure on yourself to move at a faster rate to try and integrate this stuff. It's okay if it's hard, and it's okay if it's hard for a long time, right? You've spent so many years becoming a certain way and developing certain patterns. It's going to take, quite a bit of time to start to unravel those patterns. Okay, feminines. Okay, we only have 2 cards here, but there's I already have 5 different messages coming off of them. Okay. Okay, so the most obvious message is feminines feminines have been treading water for quite a long time. Feminines have been treading water in the quantum field of awareness for a really long time. One of the, I don't want to say downsides, but one of the symptoms of being the portal between worlds is that you hold the wisdom. You got the information earlier, and so you're able to come into deeper relationship with the, gnosis a little bit sooner. And thus you have had to hold this in your mind, body, spirit for much longer. And so I honor your endurance, and feminines, hear me now. I honor if you're exhausted. I honor if it's getting harder and harder to have the necessary fortitude on the path. I honor if it's very difficult for you to take action right now. If this is your narrative, rest. Do what you have to do. It's always interesting to me because as a, mystical little creature, I have always gone through what the collective is going through about 1 to 2 weeks before it happens. And I'm just, those of you that have been following, I took a week off because my body was really shutting down, and it was, screaming at me. So I was forced to take care of it. And so I really honor if feminines, you are freaking exhausted. So do what you need to do to get the bare minimum essentials completed. And then please, please take care of yourself. Please fill your cup, whatever that means. Take extra time to go for a walk. Ask for friends or family with help with whatever you need, cleaning, childcare, a meal. Do not think you're doing this work in a vacuum. You are never doing this work alone. Reach out. And sometimes that's really scary. So honor that discomfort and that vulnerability of saying, hey, I need help. And also take another step forward. The other message, the loudest other message I was getting is that taking action in an aligned way on something small and simple will actually help you build the fortitude for the next leg of the journey, feminines. So if there's something that you've kind of felt called to, if there's a project you've always wanted to do, listen, it could be as small as you've wanted to paint a watercolor painting, or you wanted to go start a garden, or get one plant, or whatever, or take that yoga class, whatever that thing is for you that's kind of been dancing in the back of your hearts and minds, that oh, hey, that would be fun to do, like a pottery class or a dance class or a breathwork session or a craniosacral massage. No clue where that came from. That just popped in my head. If there's been something that's kind of been on your radar and it's been calling you, the message is when you take action on your desires, on your deepest resonance and curiosities, that will fill your cup. It'll boost your creativity. It'll boost your confidence. It'll boost your sense of satiety. I don't know if I'm saying that right. Satiety. I don't know how people say it, but that feeling of contentment within your body and hearts, that will give you confidence. There's a message also, it'll increase your sensuality. There's a lot in this gift when you can honor this desire. Because remember, when we get a desire, it's often an intuitive hit that there's something in that for us. It might not make sense to us at all, but you never know. If you go and take that pottery class, you might meet like the person you're meant to meet. You might meet your partner. You might meet a business partner. You might just meet a new friend who's a like-minded individual who validates your existence in one little comment. There are these moments, I'm going to cry because, hold on, that warmed my heart because we have no idea who is an angel in disguise. We have no clue. And so if we can open our hearts and dare to meet the mystery, the spirit world will and always will intervene. It'll intervene on our behalf and gift us with this new direction, new feeling, new level of fulfillment. And let me tell you, one morsel of divine validation will satiate you for years to come. It will give you, it's like filling your gas tank all the way. It will gift you with such fortitude and endurance so that you can go the distance. Whew. Feminine's beautiful message. It always cracks me up how emotional I get during these. It's probably why I'm exhausted after these readings, but can't change who I am. I'm a highly sensitive creature and I don't want to change it. Elaine Aron, who is the researcher who did 40 years of research on highly sensitive people, which she discovered it's a trait, and it's 20% of the population has this highly sensitive person trait. I'm like, holy crap, 1/5, right? That's 1/5 of the population that is highly sensitive, and yet high sensitivity has been deeply shamed in our society. And so taking up space to just be exactly who you are and modeling that for the next individual, here I go crying again. Just you showing up as you and modeling that is so powerful. So keep doing you, keep being you. Okay, let me take a sip of water and stop crying. Okay. In the union energies, we have all reversals. That's interesting in and of itself, but let's see what they are. We have rediscovery, shift, core, and potential. I don't mind that these are all reversed. There is something that masculine and feminines are both waking up to the core of who they are, to the core of this infinite potential. Can you see this sacred stirring? I mean, look at this powerful image. Look at all of the movement. Can you see all of the colors, all of the spirals, we have every chakra color represented here. Yeah, I just got the message of, all this blue of communicating from our core, communicating our deepest soul core truth, and honoring this infinite potential, right? If you're here listening to a twin flame reading, you have accepted some level of ordination. You are being called to your task to try to ask another question and understand this path and understand why you're here, what your mission is. Just by your just by you showing up today, you are shifting collective consciousness. You are honoring the potential that exists. Even if you feel like you don't have full access to that potential, it's just like a nod to the universe that you honor that this is possible. And so masculines, feminines, you're both on this path of rediscovering your core soul frequency. And when you rediscover it, and when you even just get a sliver of it, that will ignite your deepest truth. That will shift the core of your life, almost like an axial moment. The entire axis in which your personal world is revolving or turning on will shift, thus shifting your entire way that you relate to the world around you. Woo, geez, incredible message, incredible message. Let's just get some randoms right now. Anything for masculines, End of a cycle in reverse. Okay, masculines, this is your time of closing the loop. This is your time of cleaning up loose ends. This is a time of honoring completions, of honoring where there is dissonance in your life. Where are you leaking power to in your life? You're plugging these holes. You're understanding that context is everything, that you're letting go of having black and white expectations, and your perceptual system is basically jacked up in the best of ways. It's like you're now able to assess situations in a clearer, cleaner way, so that what you're actually perceiving is what's actually happening. And because your intuition, it's like somebody just turned on the windshield wipers of your intuition, and all of a sudden you're able to see clearly. And when you can see clearly, you can end the cycles that need to end. Great message. Okay. Didn't I just say, who did I say this to? We have feminines, you have share your gifts in reverse. Okay, just going to call you out. Where are you not sharing your gifts? Or better yet, where are you not honoring the gifts that you have? Do you have a curiosity? Does painting really light you up? Does painting really, or whatever, what is it for you? What are your gifts? Are you an incredible friend? Are you a really kind person? Are you brilliant at diffusing arguments? Do you make the best apple pie in the United States? It doesn't matter what it is. Do you have a weird talent? Can you pick up things with your feet? I don't know. I'm getting weird with it, but you know what I mean? It's like there's a gift in you sharing whatever your gift is. Do you make people laugh? There's this huge backlash against the celebrity world and, Hollywood. And of course, rightfully so. There's a lot of messed up things that go on. However, at the end of the day, think about where we would be without film, without art, without music. These are the things that color our lives. So where are you not sharing your gifts? I'm laughing because when I turn this over, it actually looks like a girl going to a tarot or oracle reader. That's really funny. I don't know if I've ever noticed that. Yeah, so maybe some of you are oracles yourself. Maybe some of you have divine gifts that you haven't really acknowledged. When I first started on YouTube, the message for months was that people's clair gifts were coming online. Their psychic gifts, their claircognizance, clairsentience, clairaudience, whatever clair you have. But remember, if 20% of the population is highly sensitive, I bet a lot of you have that gift of high sensitivity. So now what can you do with it? It's like one of my favorite things that I'm actually going to start working on is doing oracle readings for businesses. So it's like bringing this kind of woo-woo spiritual thing into a corporate environment and seeing what those gifts can pull out of people. How cool is that? I would have never thought I would be doing that. And then in the union energies, we have peace. Anything else? Anything else for union? Oh, I just shot cards everywhere. Okay, we have keep going. We have body balance. And if I could reach it, we have awakening, but it was in reverse. Okay, feminines, masculines, it's time to take care of your body. Remember that the higher you go or the deeper you go on this path of illumination, the more toll it's going to take on your body. I'm living proof of that. So please take care of your body, hydrate. I'm not a medical professional. I am not promoting this, but something about fasting just came up right now. I don't know much about fasting, so don't take any, I have nothing to say about it other than I don't know if that's something some of you are looking into. I have a friend that fasts all the time and she's brilliant at it. She'll do like a 48-hour fast or 72-hour fast. And I've done more strategic, more like cleanses and different detox things, but I've never done a true fast. So maybe that's just for me. Who knows? Okay, anything else? Anything else for union energies? Anything else? Yes. And then we have music healing in reverse. Do some of you deeply, deeply heal through music? I think if I had to pick one healing modality that would serve the greatest number of people, I would say it's music. And it's in the reverse. So feminines, masculines, it's time to bring back music into your life. And this is also a frequency card. So this could be energy healing, sound healing, Reiki, Qigong, Tai Chi, any sort of energy modality, dancing, ecstatic dance. I'm just trying to name some things. Drumming. Do you have drum circles near you? Do you have any sort of, shamanic culture around you that you can join or participate in? Yeah, and then I'm just laughing. I look down, and in the unconscious, we have self-care. Let's just end on, let me get a couple twin flame cards. We have one with self-blossoming. This is, it's perfect. Came out with the self-care. We have Take Me Home, Pathway to True Love. We have, this card always comes out, the electric, creative expression. Just remember, we are electrical beings. You heard me talking a couple readings ago about our circuitry. What are we plugging our circuitry into? If you've ever had something that draws a lot of power and you plug it into a circuit that's overloaded, what happens? It like sparks and blows out the whole, you have to reset the circuit breaker. It's like we are energetic beings and we have to remember that sometimes we get burnt out. So this is a time of self-care. This is a time of, the message I'm getting here, it's not just a time of passive recovery. It's also a time of active recovery, of rediscovering what ignites your soul on fire, rediscovering music or things that make you feel the way music does. We also have false twin flame, intense change, and divine masculine energy. So yeah, to penetrate the world, feminine and masculines need to lean on their inner king, their inner divine masculine energy. And then in the unconscious, we have karmic purge, mirroring reflections. So this is another piece of the discernment, which will allow you to understand, okay, what is this mirror reflection telling me? Is it reflecting back something that's mine, or is it reflecting back something that's someone else's? So discernment. Beautiful reading. I'm going to leave it there. Sending you all so much love, and I'll see you in the next one.